Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another mini episode of In the Weeds. I'm joined today by two very super dope people, two of our friends and employees here at Lawn Buddy. You may recognize Caitlin from our last mini episode. Caitlin, say hello.
Hello.
And then, ladies and gentlemen, the woman, the myth, the legend, Mrs. Lindsay is with us today. Lindsay, this is your first podcast. Why don't you tell the world hello?
Hello, world.
Well, hey, we kicked off the last mini episode with a fun trivia where I take random questions that I don't have pre-planned and I make you guys answer them on the spot. Do you want to play that game?
Let's go.
All right. So, Caitlin, you don't get to answer this question because you already answered it, but I'm going to start with Lindsay. What is your favorite dinosaur and why?
Ooh, that's easy. A Utah Raptor.
A Utah Raptor. Would that happen to be because you're from somewhere in that region?
That would more than likely have a good standing on set.
That is great. So if you don't know, well, you don't know because it's your first podcast, but Lindsay's actually from Utah. Another fun fact about Lindsay, she was also in the Air Force. She's the only one who's retired from the military that is on Lawn Buddy staff. So, Lindsay, thank you for your service.
You are welcome.
All right. Are you guys ready for your next question off the top of my dome that I've never planned for before?
Yes.
Okay. What is your favorite place that you have ever visited and why? Starting with Caitlin.
That's a hard one. I want to say like a national park. I think it was Yellowstone that my dad and I went to, and there were a bunch of buffalo, and I loved that.
Did you try to pet a buffalo? I heard that's
Absolutely
a sport.
not.
No? Okay.
Nope. But I did see a video recently of, I want to say it was a buffalo, of a guy like taunting one. Yeah, and it ran after him and like pushed him up in the air. Which the buffalo, while I was at the national park, I had just gotten a new car, a little Toyota Corolla, and it was coming up to our car and trying to do like a little headbutt. And I was like, Dad, keep driving, keep driving.
Trying to headbang a little bit, like some rock and roll music.
Yeah, and we weren't even doing anything. It didn't want its picture taken, I guess.
That was in Yellowstone. It was an older man who was trying to take a picture and then decided to try to hide behind some trees and run away from said buffalo. And you mess with the bison, you get the horns, is what I'm told. So
You saw that video, or are you looking it up right now?
No, I saw the video. It's very, very popular. My favorite podcast is a podcast called Meat Eater, and they covered it. So I went and watched the video, and yeah, Hobie got thrown. I think he's still in the hospital.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay.
And that's why that is Caitlin's favorite national park, is because she loves to watch people get injured by American wildlife.
This is true.
Yeah. Now we're going to cruise over to Lindsay. Lindsay, what is your favorite place you have ever visited and why? You've traveled the world in the Air Force. What's your favorite place?
That's tough, honestly. Because I mean, I've definitely seen lots of national parks. I don't know if I can really like stem that straight down to a all-time favorite.
Well, you've been overseas, right?
I spent 10 years actually in Okinawa, which is just an island below Japan.
Okey.
Kokos.
Yeah, what was your favorite curry where you were in Okinawa?
Definitely, a chicken cutlet curry with cheese with naan.
Ooh,
is curry big there?
Curry is. You need to look up Kokos when you get a chance. That's like that's like one of those things of passage. You go to Japan, you have to go to Kokos. You go drinking, you go to Kokos staff.
Okay.
Yep. So here's a fun fact for you. I think maybe Lindsay knows this. Caitlin, I don't know if you know this, but the Okinawa, there's a massive Marine Corps base there, and Japanese kind of, I would venture to say culture is probably pretty big in the military. I would say 1 out of 8 people have a koi fish tattooed on their arm if they were in the military from 2009 to like 20, maybe today. So
I want one.
They're pretty dope.
Fun fact to follow that up. I don't have a koi fish, but I do have a fish tattooed on my body.
Did you get it
No, actually, I got a flying tiger done while I was there, but that's for one of two reasons. It's also a heritage tat, which, is almost a rite of passage for being in the military.
Yep. A little moto tat.
Yes. But if you didn't know any history behind it, you would just say, "Oh, that's cool. You've got a flying tiger on your foot. How cool."
This is accurate. I think I don't know. There's very few people that I know that are in the military that haven't gotten tattoos either while they were in. Actually, yeah, period. While they were in, there's very, very few people that I know that have done that. So I myself am guilty of the koi fish. So I have a very large tattoo that goes from here all the way up to my chest. So little fun fact for you there. I don't know how we started this off about talking about favorite places and moved over to Tattoo Street, but I like it. I like it a lot.
Again, Steven, to give you semi an answer, I would say, I guess Disney World. That's just going to be a cop out answer, but that's just because like I enjoy going to Disney, and I have gone to over half of the Disney parks worldwide.
That is
Oh my
pretty rad.
goodness.
Yes.
That is pretty rad.
You're a
The
Disney adult.
Yes.
frequent flyer of Disney resorts and facilities, I take it.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Good. I don't know why this reminded me of it. Actually, I do know why. You were telling stories about Okinawa, and it reminded me. You said naan bread. There is a bread. So for those of you listening who do not know, they were both in the Air Force. I was in the Marine Corps. I did a deployment to Afghanistan in 2010, I believe. Anyways, there's a bread there that is made. I was in the southern Helmand province, way down south in the desert. There's a bread there called foot bread that is amazing. It's like the best, fluffiest naan you've ever had in your entire life. And it's the one thing that I've always missed from Afghanistan. Fast forward, there was a lot of refugees that were coming into the United States from Afghanistan, specifically when we did that massive, withdrawal thing. And so when they were coming into Wichita, I actually helped a bunch of them that were special forces get settled in the area. And I got to eat like my heart's content of foot bread when they came back. The reason it's called foot bread is because it looks like a foot, but it's amazing. So if you guys ever happen to stumble upon some foot bread in a Afghanistan or Afghani restaurant, definitely eat it. It's well worth it. Are you Googling?
I'm Googling it. Yeah.
Some of your Indian restaurants and that do their naan to where it's all elongated like that. And what crazy situation? While you were actually in Afghanistan, I was in Iraq.
Look at that. Look at us. We were just across the pond.
Yep.
I was probably in elementary school. So
that's all right. When I get ready to leave the podcast, I'll make sure to pop out my walker and mosey my way back to my desk.
I've got my AARP card sitting here, so it's all good. All right, we're going to move into our next question before we get into the news segment that I like to call the news show. My last random question for you is going to stay in the theme of places, but now it's your least favorite place that you have visited, whether it's the United States or the world. Caitlin, starting with you from Seattle. Caitlin from Seattle.
California.
California. Ooh, strong answer. I like it. Probably taxes, people. What didn't you like about that area of the world?
Yeah, people just raised very different there, different morals. And also the prices. Gas was actually insane, probably still is very insane. And the place that I was stationed specifically, they called it a donut because there was nothing to do inside, but there was stuff like if you drove a couple hours. We also had like the most exciting thing we had on that base was fires, obviously not very exciting, but we also had a cow count. So they would bring the cows over for the winter and to mow the grass essentially. And they would put a little cow count of how many cows were on base.
That sounds amazing. Your worst place would probably be my favorite place.
Yeah, everything was dead. There was no soft grass. and there were a bunch of fires.
Oh,
So
well, that doesn't sound as appealing, but the cows take me home, country road. So moving on over to Lindsay. Lindsay, where is the least favorite place that you visited and why?
I would say probably my least favorite, but I did enjoy my time there. But I almost got myself in an international incident being there, was Paris.
Ooh. Did you
I feel like
insult
the people
someone's
are
croissant?
No, actually, I was at Euro Disney and I got cut off at Space Mountain by
Oh,
a couple young French women.
so you tried to have those French women catch these hands, as the kids would say?
I may or may not have, and decided to give them a few choice English words along with such, because I am not a fan of line cutters.
Yep. Hey, you got to stand your ground. You got to stand up for what you believe in. You know what I mean?
And when
So
you're only as tall as I am, you have to make do with what you got.
Yep. Got to make sure you catch these hands if you cut Lindsay in line. All right. So I'm going to tell you my least favorite spot, and it's probably going to surprise you. My least favorite spot was Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, specifically Jacksonville, North Carolina. I thought I had seen the depths of hell, and or for you Harry Potter fans, the Azkaban. That is what I would correlate that base in that town to. There's trees everywhere. Couldn't really see anything. I also, one kind of cool thing is that I saw old men fish with explosives. That was kind of neat. I thought I grew up in a more redneck environment, but I was blown away at the lengths at which some people catch fish. See, fun. I'm funny. Didn't even know that word. It happens organically. No insult for you guys that are in North Carolina. North Carolina is a beautiful state. Just Jacksonville and Camp Lejeune were not my favorite places I've ever been in my entire life. So, but speaking of favorite places, are you guys ready to cruise on over into the new news show with Lawn Buddy?
what?
Do this.
Are you ready? All right. So I'm going to kick you guys off. So what we're going to do, this is a new segment that we're doing. We may continue to do it. Depends on what you guys want. If you like it, please let us know and we'll continue doing it. But we're going to start with our news and we're going to move into industry news. This is not my idea. I stole this concept 100% from that favorite podcast that I was telling you about called Meat Eater. So the credit goes to them, but we're going to steal it and we're going to use it. Ladies and gentlemen, time for Lawn Buddy's news. So we've got a handful of new features coming out that I think are going to be really, really life-changing for some folks. One that we just saw this morning that's rolling out into beta testing is something that's been requested for years and years now, and that is a customer portal. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We have a customer portal coming to a customer's mobile phone, website, whatever they want to go on, near them very, very soon. So it's in testing right now with some of our beta users. And so essentially what the homeowners will be able to do, or commercial contacts, what have you, they'll be able to go to a URL, either linked on your invoices or that they have saved, log in and see all outstanding invoices, be able to pay those said invoices, see historical as far as receipts go for what they did for the year, as well as look at their estimates. So they can see any estimates they have outstanding, what they've accepted, and basically have a one-stop shop for them to communicate with you and your company. It's been requested for a very, very long time, and our team has been very hard at work, and it is coming very, very soon. If you would like to be part of the beta testing program, please feel free to reach out to us. It really helps us to have real users using our new features, but you also get to play a role in what those look like and ultimately how it functions. Lindsay, you've worked with a lot of our business owners. Do you think this is going to be a big deal for them?
I think this is actually going to be a phenomenal thing, because I know since my time frame with doing the Skill Bridge, of course, and the internship with Lawn Buddy itself to becoming an actual employee of yours, I know that I had kind of come into the end part of the old portal homeowner app to what we're going to be transitioning into. And I think that it's honestly going to be top notch, especially with the team that we've had working on it. And of course, all of our inputs from the additional providers on, future requests or, different features that they'd like to see with the app or the homeowners portion of it. Well, I'm sorry, the customer portal. I think it's going to be great. I can't wait to actually, get hands on it as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Caitlin, I know you're very brand new to the whole Lawn Buddy universe, and you just saw that tool today. What kind of stood out to you about the feature?
I think like having any sort of customer portal thing though is like obviously helpful. I mean, coming from med group background or like medical, it's something that's super helpful to just communicate and keep all of your stuff in order.
I couldn't agree more. And speaking of keeping your stuff in order, another new feature that I'm very, very happy to tell people about today that is also coming to a platform near you is a feature that's been requested for probably the last 4 years pretty consistently, ever since we rolled out estimates. So today, how estimates work, right, is when you go in, you build out your estimate, you can do that virtual overlay, so that satellite imagery of what you're doing and where, which is really, really awesome. It's what some of the folks really love to use primarily for us as estimates and invoicing. But one of the things that they wanted, even though there's a digital track or signature that's on it, is a physical signature, a way for customers to digitally sign with their trackpad, with their finger, so on and so forth. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to announce that that is going live very soon. So I saw the beta product of it. But what that means for you is that you're going to be able to send out your estimates to your customers. They're going to be able to digitally sign that, and you'll be able to track it for whatever you need, whether that's legal purposes or if you just want to archive all past work to show that you had their signature authority. That is coming to a platform near you very, very soon. I know we already covered the insights page. We've done a lot of other stuff. There's a lot of really other awesome tools that we're rolling out that I can't exactly tell you about yet because we're waiting on some partners to get in the mix there, but very excited to unveil some of those new features coming out to you very, very soon. They will be released before Equip Expo in Louisville, Kentucky, which we're pretty excited for. So with that, that is Lawn Buddy news. Unless Lindsay and Caitlin, do you have any Lawn Buddy news you want to add to that, or did I cover it?
Just a question. We don't have to keep this in, but what were y'all doing beforehand without the signatures?
What was happening before, and so technically it's still legally binding. And so that was one of the arguments I had for a long time is a lot of business owners wanted to utilize that tool so they could show proof that it was signed. And so essentially what we had is we had a button that said accept. And when they hit accept, date and time stamp it, we would show all the information that the customer is accepting, and then we track that. But business owners really, really wanted to have a signature page. And so that is something we just built in. So from a legal standpoint, nothing really changes other than that we have a signature on file now. I can backtrack and say some states, some counties, they require a signature, whether that's live or digital. And so it will help some folks, maybe in the New York area. So Sean Perillo got that coming to you really quick, brother. But that's what we were doing beforehand, is it was essentially a button. So we would do the estimate, they would send it to their customer would be able to review it, they'd be able to see the map or the layout of the work that was going to be done, see line items for exactly what was going to be accomplished on their property, and then they just hit accept or deny, and then that was sent back to the business owner, letting them know, hey, this was accepted, or hey, this was denied because of XYZ. And so now we just have a signature block that's attached to that. Well, that was a great question. That's not going anywhere. That's staying in there.
Okay.
Lindsay, what about you? Any question?
That's actually one of my favorite things demoing is the estimates page and going and putting in the lines and going and letting them know the difference between, of course, square footage versus linear and how to get off of the linear. And then, of course, if they need to edit the lines, that they go in and they smack the hand and tell it, no, you messed up. And you can touch the line and edit or delete it.
Yep. No, it's a great feature. And then one of the things I should have said earlier, ladies and gentlemen, if you call into Lawn Buddy, depending on the day, there's a 25% or a 50% chance that Lindsay's going to answer the phone. So if you have any questions, any comments, or actually she loves complaints, feel free to call and ask for Lindsay, and she can get you taken care of.
I will do my best.
Yeah, and then here very soon as I ship your computer out, that percentage is going to go down because Caitlin will also be here to help you with your burning questions about anything Lawn Buddy. That is newsworthy, I think. I forgot to tell people.
Huge.
Yeah, massive. Gargantuan. I'm just trying to get Lindsay to smile.
Like you got it.
Yeah, all we have to do is start complaining. How's your lawnmower doing, Lindsay?
Yeah, it's broken. It's hard broke. He blew the clutch. So he push mowed the rest of the.
Yep. So Lindsay's wonderful, wonderful hunk of a man likes to break things apparently, and broke their lawnmower and had to push mow a pretty decent sized chunk of profit.
Not a push mower.
Yes. So we have 2 riding lawnmowers, and the other one has more or less like racing slicks for back tires. But we ended up picking up a quick turn for like dirt cheap that we have managed to work for us and the lawn for like 2 years. And he just put new blades, new pulleys, a new belt, new bearings on it, and not even like 3 strips into the lawn. It threw the belt, ate part of the belt, and then burned through the clutch. So,
Love it. Now you get a little taste of what our business owners go through when they are out in the field and a mower goes down, and then they have to figure out what the heck am I going to do? I'm in the field. I got work to do. I've got more than one lawn to mow, and my equipment went down,
well,
which actually,
that's why I'm a firm believer that you know what happens, and of course, being a prior Girl Scout, to always be prepared.
always be prepared. That's right. And so, actually, this is probably a little bit newsworthy, something we're working on that I'd love listeners' feedback on is the equipment inventory page. So, when it comes to managing your equipment and the status of it, so whether it's in good operation, whether it's broken, or any parts that you have, we are going to do a full update to that feature so that it's easier for you to track hours, it's easier for you to track your equipment, and it's easier for you to track anything that goes around or on your truck, trailer, or mower. It used to be called consumables. That was in the equipment inventory page, but we're redoing that entire thing. So if you have any input on what you think we could do better on that page, we would really love to hear your input. And I think that is newsworthy. What about you guys?
I agree.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, does that covet some of these? Lindsay, can we do this? Little crabs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now we're going to move into other news, industry news, and I have asked Caitlin and Lindsay to come prepared with the goss, the hot goss, something that Lindsay said made me look a little cringe when I was using these hip new terms in that last podcast. So, ladies, are you ready to spill the tea and get lit? I think I said that right.
Oh.
The attempt was there, and that's all that matters.
Yep.
If you say get lit, usually that's like drinking.
Well, we can start now. Let's
Like,
get lit. It's Friday.
5 o'clock somewhere.
That's right.
Let's just do the do.
I got you, Lindsay. I got you.
Monster, sponsored by military. If you're in the military, you have to drink Monster. You have to vape. You have to get tattoos.
It's all in the contract.
Yes.
And you sign the contract.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to go to the smoke pit. Make sure you got that extra time off. You know what I mean? Trading time off for cancer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I put on my nice accent for that one, but I done did it. And now we know what we're going to done do. We're going to transition into the news. So, Caitlin, hit us with what you got.
My biggest news article that I thought was interesting was is it Bayer? Is that how you pronounce it?
Bayer?
The company that they do Roundup. Do you know where I'm going with this?
Bayer, yeah. So it used to be Monsanto, now it's Bayer. Yep.
Yes. They're like the Supreme Court just overturned the lawsuit. So basically all of the people who've come forward are still coming forward. They're just in it.
Yep. So actually you brought up something that is newsworthy and is highly controversial in our industry. So you have two splits. I'd say there's some people that are in the middle, but you have two big splits. So you have people who are directly affected by it and know it's real. And then you have people who they're just going to they're going to go YOLO with weed killer no matter what, because it's how they make money. So I can see kind of both, but coming from someone who has had cancer multiple times, I can tell you that Roundup, in my professional opinion, is not that great for you or your health, and you should make sure you take the proper precautions to make sure it's being applied correctly. But I do think that is newsworthy. I didn't know that. So they overturned the lawsuit?
Well, I guess they paid, it looks like 10 billion in settlements, and then there's still about 67,000 cases still pending. And my thing is, I guess my hot take is that pretty much everything we consume or use has carcinogens in it, right?
Yep.
But obviously, I don't know. I think it's kind of like you said, like use it properly and with caution. Like it's a chemical, like a strong chemical.
Make sure you read the
But there was
MSDS.
nothing. The what?
The MSDS.
The material data sheet.
Do what with it?
You got
So
you have to follow it. Make sure that you're going by what the label reads. Does it state
Well, I
that?
think the label, from my understanding, is there was nothing listed on there originally.
yeah, correct. There was no caution around it. So actually, you bring up something that one of our early adopters and one of our largest users, Scott Hans, he is out of Florida with Parsons Lawn Landscape. They were involved in that lawsuit. So it is a
Oh,
very
really?
real thing that affects people, and there wasn't exactly a lot of direction on how best to use it. So now they have a cone. So just little context here too, and our listeners will know this. You kind of have two ends of the spectrum when it comes to Roundup or Monsanto products when it comes to grass killer, right? Because they own more than just Roundup. Technically, Bayer owns them now, but who's counting? So you have the stuff you can go to Home Depot and buy, right? So as the plain Jane, a lot of small time people that are doing it part time or they're just getting into the industry, they're going to go to the big box office stores. They're going to buy just the generic Roundup or grass killer off the shelf. And then you go over to the other side of the spectrum, some of our licensed professionals like Sean Perillo up in New York, right? So they're going to be able to go and they're going to be able to buy bulk chemicals or stronger chemicals that go through mixing procedures. And there's actually very rigid tracking for when those chemicals were applied, especially around the state and county. Also gets into fertilization. So this is something that's huge in fertilizer as well, because fertilizer was blamed for a lot of the algae blooms throughout the United States, and it's very heavily regulated, specifically in Florida, the East Coast, here in the Midwest, where you actually have to keep track and record of what's applied. If you guys were ever wondering why we have broken out line items for like the materials of the product that was used and have a big note section, it's so the people that are applying fertilizer or pest control, they can notate wind speed, temperature, the conditions in which they are applied, as well as the amount and specific name of the product that was applied. So that's why there's a bigger notes field there. And one of the customers that uses it very, very, very well is Luke Latimer with Latimer Lawns. They do a ton of fertilization and pest control, primarily fertilization, but that's one of the things we take in consideration is you've got the two ends. So you've got regulated, and technically the other folks that are going to Home Depot, they need to do it as well. They just fly under the radar and kind of just say YOLO, and they're just trying to earn a living. And so I can see both sides of the coin, right? Like when you're trying to grind it out and start a business and feed your family, you're going to do what it takes to put food on the table, and sometimes you're going to cut some corners. So I do get that. We always want to try and push people into, hey, let's do everything by the book, and we'll give you software solutions to make sure that you can achieve that goal. But I would think that was a great news article, Caitlin. So thank you for that. Speaking of news, we're going to transition, and I've said transition a lot. We're going to hop on over to Lindsay and find out what news story she has for us today.
Mine's a feel-good story. So I saw that students are teaming up with the YMCA and doing lawn care services. So
That's pretty rare.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. What stood out to you about that?
I mean, I just like the fact of people helping people, and the fact that also they're offering it as, they're doing it on their own free will out of,
Was it kind of similar to, have you seen the SB mowing TikToks? Like them going up to people?
Of course I have. I helped assist one of his last deals he did in Wichita with Steven, actually.
Oh, nice.
Did you know that SB Mowing and in Lawn Buddy, we fed, and a bunch of other amazing organizations, but we fed every person on McConnell during the last government shutdown.
Oh, that's awesome. I
Not
didn't
only
know that.
them, we fed them steaks.
Yep.
And so
Oh, nice.
Yep.
there were
That's
3
awesome.
ringleaders. So there was myself, Spencer from SB Mowing, and a guy named Jake Ramstack here locally, and we organized a group of probably 20 business owners and volunteers. We raised a little over $40,000 in a week, and then we fed everyone. So we got grills from all over the place. We got security forces from the base to come out and bring grills and grill out with us. And we had a bunch of, it was just great. I mean, because as you guys know, during a government shutdown, you're not getting paid. Your family's not getting the resources they need. So we not only cooked, but then we also, it was right before Christmas. So we got probably like 15 grand in gas cards that we gave out. So
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
pretty rad. And Lindsay helped coordinate all the volunteers for that. So she was still active at the time. Well, she was at Buddy, and she helped coordinate with the base access for volunteers getting in and out.
I love that.
Yep. So that was pretty rad.
I was offered to come volunteer too, but it was a 7-hour round trip. So
yeah, she denied me as usual.
Did you know that I watched SB Mowing before I even knew about Lawn Buddy? And then I applied for the SkillBridge position, and I saw it on TikTok, and I was like, no way.
Well, that's awesome. I didn't know that. Yeah, so I will. You're actually going to work on some projects that we have with Spencer. We love Spencer. We work a lot with him. So you picked a good.
Yeah, his videos had popped up on my For You page, and I was obsessed with them. And then I was starstruck that you had done a video with him.
Yep, we've done I think 6, probably done 6 videos with him so far. There's one that's getting ready to come out. So we went to, this was very recently, probably about a month ago. We went to a neighborhood in Wichita called the Plainview neighborhood, which is very low income. The cops are coming. Run, Lizzie, run!
yeah, they travel this road quite frequently.
Yeah.
It was a fire
Lindsay's
department, Steven. It was a fire department, Steven.
I apologize.
Because this podcast is on fire.
That was a good one. I do like that. This sidetracked me. I was like, I wonder if this is you're like, yeah, and then this is this. Anyways. You made it slap so hard. So anyways, we went to the Plainview neighborhood, which is a low income neighborhood. And we partnered with Wichita Animal Action League because we love pets at Lawn Buddy of all shapes and sizes. And we actually went into the community. We mowed probably about 80 properties for free so they could be treated for fleas. And then they had a pet clinic. And so this is the second year Spencer and I have done this. We went out. It was phenomenal. Love getting out to work with him and really genuinely help people. I think that video is coming out relatively soon. It's already done. It's just waiting for a little bit of editing on the back end because we're doing it in conjunction with a fundraiser for Wichita Animal Action League so they can continue to help that neighborhood. But I'm probably saying more than I should. Keep a lookout for that video. I don't know why I said keep out. Get out of here. Keep out of here.
Keep out.
That's right. You just wait. The video's coming out.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah. All right. You guys ready for my news story?
Yeah.
Actually, quick plug, Lindsay, you should look up Student Startup. They're based here in Wichita, does a lot of what you're talking about with the YMCA. They take and mentor young men and teach them about the lawn and landscape industry. And then actually, bigger plug, because I'm on the board of it, if you go to SB Mow It Forward, that's one of its strategic initiatives is to help kids get into the lawn and landscape industry and equip them with the resources and tools that they need. And that's Spencer's nonprofit. So if you go there, you click on the board members page, you'll see my beautiful mug. It's all about mentorship and then showing that, hey, you can always find an alternative solution to make a good living. And it happens to be in the lawn and landscape industry, which I know more millionaires in the lawn and landscape industry than I know anywhere else. So I'm not trying to tell you guys to leave and start your own lawn and landscape company, but if you want to, I'd sell you software.
I told you I'm scared of lawnmowers. Actually,
my news story, which is also the new reigning longest mini podcast, is just a full-blown podcast at this point. So thanks for hanging in there with us. I had no idea that we were going to bring up SB Mowing, but my new newsworthy thing is with SB Mowing. and it's something that is life changing for many people. And that is that he just released an episode with Hank Hill. So if you go to his social media page, you will see Hank Hill from King of the Hill help him clean up a yard. And here's what's really neat. I see Caitlin's face. Do you know who Hank Hill is? King of the Hill? No?
Come on, Caitlin. They just did a reboot.
Yeah. So
I
here's what
thought King of the Hill was a cartoon.
It is.
Okay, so I know a little bit then.
Okay, yeah. Well, they overlaid Hank Hill's cartoon likeness image. It was him.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Hey, look at that. So you don't have to roast her in the comments now. I did tell you to roast her in the comments for not knowing it, but it just takes a little time, you know?
I said there's blonde in those roots.
Okay.
Easy there, Lindsay.
Easy.
Easy. So that's my news, is a little bit of fun news that Hank Hill is a big fan of the lawn landscape industry. And Hank, if you're looking for a software sponsorship, reach out to us. We'd love to get you good software so next time you go out there with Spencer and you actually charge people instead of doing it for free so you can drink a little bit more beer on the sidewalk with the boys, we've got your back.
Like I said, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
That's right. And ladies and gentlemen, with that concludes our not so many episode of In the Weeds News Show. If you would like us to continue to do this a little bit more, please let us know. I enjoy doing it. Talk about lawn budding news, talk about industry news, but we'd also like you to submit your news and we'll read it out loud. So if this is something you want us to continue, please let us know. Don't be shy. Leave a comment. Reach out to us, text us, or call Lindsay. Complain to Lindsay about what you liked and didn't like. She's here to listen to you. Miss Clea, do you have any closing comments for us today?
Ooh, I have a fun fact. They also say you can put toothpaste, like a baking soda paste on, or mustard or ketchup, actually, on mosquito bites. That's because of like the pH balances that'll actually draw out the venom.
Interesting. That is a hot tip. Caitlin, do you have any hot tips for us today?
No, I want to apologize to Mr. Hank Hill, for not knowing.
I'm sure he'll understand. I have a question for you, Caitlin, because I don't know. Is that a chicken, a duck, or a penguin that is on your desk?
It's a chick. It's a little duck guy.
Oh, I gotcha. Well, do you have a name for him
Squishy
yet?
lamp.
No name.
No name?
You're supposed.
See? Squishy lamp.
Yeah.
So if you beat your duck, if you beat it,
Then it turns on.
there you go. Your hot.
I do think you should leave us with the Marine song because we did the Air Force song last time, and I don't know the Marine song.
All right, sing it with me. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli.
Bum, bum.
You have to research the rest of the song. You will enjoy it, and we all know that's the best song from the best branch. And that was that. I'm going to hit stop recording before they say otherwise. Bye, guys. From the halls of Montezuma